fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new silver excuse, I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kiryu's show here. And now, whenever we last left off with this series, we had Deku and Mirako. These two have both just gone on their first date. And it was actually very interesting. Mirako, she tried to treat this guy like normal. However, she couldn't. The two shared a bottle of wine, and after drinking about half of it, they went for a walk in the park. This guy made her feel different. This guy wasn't intimidated by a strong woman like her. And in fact, even whenever she tried to make a move on him and see if he does react the way she wants, he didn't. Deku stood his ground against her. And that actually is something she's not used to. She herself was trying to hide it. However, Deku, he knows that deep down she was very embarrassed. Since the two, they almost did kiss. Now, with that being said, Mirako, she did recap the night to her friend Ryuko, or the Dragon Hero. Now, with that out of the way, we actually did also have Deku, who we actually do have today. Now, today, let's just say, is the next Tuesday. About 4 days, if I'm correct, after their dates. Today, Deku has a day off. However, he actually is still at his lab, as it's early in the morning, and Deku is actually working on Mirako's hero tech. Now, we actually over Deku, he's looking at everything he does have on the table. And he's actually looking over the blueprints once again, as he does have headphones on and a thermos directly sitting in front of him. Now, Deku, yeah, he's getting to work, as he's slowly starting to piece things together and trying to at least think. Okay, let's see. This has to be perfect, otherwise it's not going to work for her. I don't know her exact body weight, so I'd have to estimate it based on her size. Let's see, taking her measurements into adjustment, and let's see. The density and weight of muscle, along with the fat, and her rabbit-like features. Deku at least trying to calculate her weight, as he at least has a very good estimate as to what this could do at its heaviest and what it could do at its lightest. Now, Deku basically needs to put something in place, as he does have to also brainstorm for another piece of hero tech, which would actually allow him to do this. Now, we actually do have where Deku has actually started to draw up the designs for those pieces, along with him actually putting on this backpack and actually trying it out. Now, we actually do have somebody who they are coming by, and they heard that this was where Mr. Bakugo's lab was. Now, we actually do have where Deku, whenever the person is going to come walking in, he does get sent flying upwards into the air, as Deku just floating upwards and looking up towards the ceiling. Him going to bring his hands out as he does grab onto it, as he does just stand there or at least float there in his gloves. And he does go to look down. Excuse me. Oh, who are you? The lab's not currently open. Are you Mr. Bakugo? Izuku Bakugo? Yes, I am. Would you mind stepping back at least 4 or 5 steps to your left? Okay. Now, Deku is going to release the gloves he's wearing, as he's go falling back towards the ground as he does going to flip his body. Him actually holding out the gloves as a cushion does form, or at least some foam paste does quickly start to expand from the gloves after being shot out. Now, Deku he actually does land with the gloves first, and then actually going to move his body downwards. As when he does go to land, he is going to take off at least this thing covering his body. Okay. Deku does say actually trying to wipe off the stuff on his spot, well, on his clothes. Well, that's good for his test 1. Then again, it's a bit too effective. I put it towards my body weight, but at the same time I let out... I see, I have to make these minor calculations then. It seems like the shoes would actually be necessary. Excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry, who might you be? My name is Momo Yaoyorozu. Yaoyorozu? Your father... He wouldn't happen to be the man who bought my blueprints, would he? Yes, actually he is. Okay. Well, I did not know he had a daughter. Yes, sorry for interrupting you so early in the morning. But I have a request. Uh, what type of hero gear do you use? What? Your hero gear. What type do you have? What material do you want it made out of? Exactly what do you want it to do? And how do you want it made? No, it's fine. I'm not here for that. Okay, what are you here for then? Well, I was actually wondering if you'd be able to help tutor me. Tutor you? Yeah. For UA? I'm sorry, for UA. Yes. It's a very fancy and rather high class hero college. And from what my father has informed me, you would be the best man for the job. Her actually would bring her hands up and slamming them together. As she just bow her head talking about how she would very much like him to help her study. I see. So, is that it? What do you mean, is that it? Yeah, I'm very sorry, Miss Rozu. I work for your father, as well an independent contractor, if you do want to put it in the simplest terms. But a tutor for his daughter? I'm, well, technically qualified to be a teacher, but I don't really do that. Really? Please, you have to. No, I really don't. You could find somebody else. But my father informed me. He looked into you. At UA, you had the best test scores. 100%. Even, well, from kindergarten or preschool. Their records really looked that far back into me? Yes, I understand if that doesn't settle you some, but please. Okay, I assume your father's going to be paying me for my time, especially since he's putting it, or taking away from, my time working. I'm sorry? Yes, Monsieur Yuruzu. Now, Deku does start to walk her through the lab, as he is going to talk about how the backpack he currently just set down he's making for a friend, who is actually the reason why he's standing here today. This friend? Yes, Monsieur Yuruzu. This friend saved my project and returned it to me safely, thereby allowing your father to invest in my project and give me the money he did, even this lab. So, I'm making this to repay them, as a bit of a favor. Now, Deku does show her around the lab, as you see that Deku has multiple projects going all at once. There's, well, to say the least, the future in motion, or at least getting on its feet. Now, she is very surprised, as we actually do have where somebody they at least do walk up to Deku's building, and they actually go to tap a button on the door, as you at least see exactly how high-tech the security system is. The doors look to be made out of a very thick material, and from what this person can tell, the glass, it's tinted very, very dark. Along with that, there's at least a thumb reader, a card reader, and a security password put into this entire building. Now, Deku actually has to get a notification on his phone, as he's going to look down and press a button, as he does see somebody standing there in a red costume. Hmm? Excuse me. The person actually turning towards the intercom. Hmm? I'm sorry? Who's there? That should be my question. Exactly who are you? Hmm? I'm, well, the Dragon Hero. Okay, but that didn't explain my question. What are you doing here? I'm, well, a friend of Miriko's. Hmm? Oh, god damn it. Miriko? That's the friend of mine. Is somebody in there with you? Yes, yes, they are. Hang on, I'll buzz you in. Now, Ryuko's very confused. She didn't even explain why she's here, as the door does ding and a magnet does unlock. The door is sliding open before she's going to walk in. As soon as she does step away from the doors, they actually start to close together and start to lock once again. Now, she's very surprised by that. Her starting to walk through the building and following at least some things that talk about where Deku might be. As she just walk through a door and see a giant open area. As you see Deku standing there and with a black-haired woman. Now, Ryuko actually has come walking up. Excuse me, you're Zuku Bakugo, or Bakugo, yes? Yes, I am. You're a friend of Miriko's. Yes, I came here to talk to you about her. Should I leave? Possibly. I'd say come by later. Exactly who are you? Oh, I'm Miss Sekirozu. She just showed up earlier. And she wants me to tutor her for UA. UA? Yes, I'm trying to apply to the Hero School, or the Hero Program. I don't want to just roll on my scholarship. That's very admirable, however, if you're a rich girl, you can pay for a very expensive tutor. That's quite rude, don't you think? I'm just being real, Miss Ryuko. She has the money and resources for it, and she wishes to waste my time with being a teacher. Waste your time? Okay, I'm sorry. I need to talk to you about that, along with Miriko. Now, Yaoyorozu, she is actually going to walk away very quickly. She feels like this may have been a mistake. Now, we actually have Deku's turn to, well, the Dragon Hero. I'm sorry. Exactly why are you here? Okay. I'm aware you and Miriko went on a date last Friday. Okay, yes, that is true. What about it? Okay. I wanted to meet you myself and see if you're exactly the type of person I would allow dating her. Are you her sister? No. I'm her friend. Okay, I see. You're very overprotective of her because you don't believe she's intelligent enough to decide for herself who she can and can't date. You think I'm a typical guy who will break her heart at the first moment, or off of a hat whenever I don't think I'm or her are right for each other, correct? I'm sorry. Ha. You underestimate your friend's decision making because you don't feel like if she's not good enough for that guy or he's not good enough for her, she should just dump him. Is that correct? That's not what I. Okay, they're going to hold his hand, talking about how he does understand her concerns. He does actually really like Mirako or Rumi. Hmm? So she did give you her name. Of course she did. I asked for it. Okay, but listen to me. Okay, you need to listen here. You came to my place of work on my day off, and I'm actually very busy right now. They're going to turn around and walk back over to the giant puddle of foam. As he does walk over, she actually does look at Deku. And she's actually starting to get very angry. This guy doesn't listen. Now, she actually does start walking over, as you see Deku go to pull the jetpack or this thing out of foam. Okay, back to the drawing board. Now, she actually does walk up behind Deku and start to transform a bit. As she just take on her dragon form and at least try to get Deku's attention. Deku actually going to turn around, as she just stare up at her. Okay, interesting. Will you listen to me now? I'm willing to understand. Let's see. Your measurements in this form would be. Deku at least going to try and calculate it in his head, as she just stare at him somewhat confused. Now, just remember that that is a trick Deku did use against Mirako, as she does just turn back into her human form, and her face is actually somewhat red. You need to stop doing that. Hmm? Stop looking at me that way. I'm not looking at you in any way. Listen to me, lady. Your friend Mirako. She's a very interesting person to me, and I apparently interest her. Hmm? Yes, I've heard about that. However, I'm worried about her because you were able to fluster her. I knew it. You knew it? So this is a game to you? No, it isn't. Now, Deku does step forwards, informing her that if it was a game, he wouldn't play it. I'm sorry. Games are easy. Anything is to me. If I wanted a challenge, I'd take a challenge. Mirako, she herself is complicated. And that's why I like her. So you like her because she's not simple or easy? No, it's neither of those facts. She isn't easy and she's not complicated. Besides, if she was easy, she would have kissed me on the first date. Really? Okay, there was only a 2% chance of her kissing me. Or, well, not kissing me. Fact was, the whole thing was it was a matter of who was going to do what. I actually leaned in for a kiss. I will admit that to you. She, however, was the one who pulled away. I like that. Hmm? What are you talking about? She pretends like she is in control. She likes to have a grasp on the situation and jump in head first. She speaks what's on her mind. So do I. She talks about things she actually does care about and what deeply do affect her. Hmm? Wait a minute, this guy. So, I will tell you that much. Your friend interests me because she reminds me a lot of my mother. Hmm? What? My mother, she grew up, and after college, she raised me, all alone by herself. I've worked hard to get where I am today because of her. And because of that, I'm repaying my debt to her. Hmm? What does that have to do with Mirako? She reminds me of her because of the fact that she tries to work hard. I've looked into her a bit more. She works extremely hard to try and protect people. and do what she wants. You think that it's just me and her. I'm just some guy who will walk in and out of her life just like that. However, I'm not. Hmm? Listen to me. You can stop me and her from dating. You can try to threaten me. However, I can come up with at least 382 countermeasures within a week to take you down. Is that a threat? No. Just a suggestion. Don't mess with a guy whose entire life has been spent learning how to use and build tools. So, if you want to come in here and talk to me, we can talk like civilized people. Or we can even go out and talk in a public place like civilized people would. Now, would you like to sit down with me and at least have a chat like an adult? Or would you rather keep trying to lecture me and scold me like a little kid who lost their toy? Now, Ryuko, she does realize a few things. She kinda did jump the gun on this guy. Yeah, he's fucking intense. And yeah, he's too fast. Now, before she does even really realize it, the two are actually sitting down and talking as she's trying to understand it. The guy's a lot more complicated than she did think. She thought that he was after Mirako for that one thing every guy does go after chicks for. However, it doesn't seem like it. Deku, he somehow, somewhere, deeply does admire Mirako. And his attraction isn't just that. It's actual, well, respect and admiration. So she's not really too sure where to go with this. She came here expecting to scare off a guy from Mirako. And it was very different. The guy stood his ground against her, and he would fight for her. She came here full of concern for a friend. She's kind of never had that for Mirako before, so she doesn't know how to handle it. And she did jump the gun. It was very stupid of her to do this. Okay, I'm sorry. I do deeply apologize. Hmm? It's fine. Mirako's Rumi is strong, hot-headed, and, well, she could learn a thing or two from you. However, you and her are very good friends. She talked about you back when you were in UA. It means your friendship stems back a few years, correct? At least 7 or 8, right? About 9, actually. Really? It's close to that one. Yes, it is. In fact, I've heard a bit of things about you. After I got out of UA, the year I graduated, you took the exams to get in. That is correct. So, why try so hard for a school? Hmm? A hero school at that. It looks good on a resume. Hmm? What? It was either that or Shigechi. The other high school that is UA's rival. I applied for both and took UA out of the fact that it was convenient and closer. And my mother, she wouldn't have to move for work. She basically worked herself to death. And she almost actually died. I got a part-time job when I was younger to help her out. And eventually I took over paying our rent. And I even did actually come to a few things and conclusions to do a few things around our apartment building. After that, we basically were able to live for a cheaper price and we had more money. My mom, she's barely taking it easy now. Currently, she's out of Japan on vacation, with some of the money I gave her. Hmm? Okay. Well, I guess I should be going. Good. Now, if you excuse me, I have to get back to working on our hero gear. Now, Deku is going to stand up, as he was going to walk back into his lab. Him going to actually walk over to a table, grab some headphones, and put them back on. As he does go to at least press play on a button on the side. As she does watch Deku start to get back to working to it. And she is going to leave. Her kind of just, what the hell just happened, throughout the entire experience. It feels strange. Now, as she does go to leave, we actually do have a few people who are standing outside the lab. And they are very curious. The guy is in there today. And no one else is. So, they can get in and steal those blueprints. And they'll make millions off of them. It's finally time to try again. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.